one more theorem to look at. This one applies to right triangles. It's called the hypotenuse leg congruence theorem. And it says if the hypotenuse and leg of a right triangle are congruent to the hypotenuse and leg of another right triangle, then the triangles are congruent. So this is, we just call that HL. You don't really have to do a lot of writing for that one when you're proving. So we're going to see in letters A and B if we can actually use HL or not to prove the triangle is congruent. So let's look at the first set here. We've got VWX, VW, and X. So this is a pretty big triangle here, okay? And then we've got Y, X, and W, okay? Now, the way that they're written, let me kind of separate them out. Notice that they're sharing, this is their hypotenuse. This is the hypotenuse of this triangle here. This is also the hypotenuse of this triangle here. Do you see that? They share a hypotenuse, okay? Because they share a hypotenuse, then we can say that, well, WX has to be congruent to XW because of the reflexive property. So reflexively, that side is equal to each other, okay, to itself. So do we know enough information? Yes, we can prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that the hypotenuse and this leg that's marked with a little mark there, we can see that a hypotenuse and the leg in both of these triangles indeed match up, and we can use this. So this would be a yes right here. Yes, we can determine that HL can be used, and we did. With the thing that we needed to know was the hypotenuse ended up being reflexive, okay? So that's what we needed to know. We were able to prove that with no problem. We're good to go there, okay? Now let me erase this picture just a little bit so we can, for the second one, we can take a look and see if we've got enough information. They're asking us this time to do VWZ, so the shorter one here, okay? So this little one here, we've got the 90-degree angle and the side, and then YXZ. Okay, now I see a problem, and I don't know that I can prove it. We can, I see in both of them, they both have 90-degree angles, and there's one side that we can see beyond a shadow of a doubt is congruent because of the tick mark. But there's no way to prove that the hypotenuse in each of these triangles are congruent. So we would say cannot use HL because we cannot prove hypotenuse or hypotenuses are congruent. And so sometimes that happens. Sometimes you just don't have enough information and you can't figure it out. Now, if there's a way that we could have figured it out, then we would have, but there's not a way. There's just not enough information provided. So be on your toes. Sometimes that's the case. And as long as you can justify, well, what else do I need to know? Well, you know, I need to know what the hypotenuse lengths are and to see if they're congruent, and then I can use HL. Okay? If you have any questions, bring them to class.